Good evening. We will now call the business session of November 5th, 2019 to order at 6 p.m. Welcome to our guests. We provide an opportunity for the public to address the City Council on any agenda item or during the hearing of visitors portion of the agenda. On items other than public hearings, speakers will be allotted 1 3-minute presentation regardless of the number of agenda items the speaker wishes to address. If you are here to speak and haven't filled out a registration card, please see the City Secretary's staff at the registration table outside of the auditorium so that staff can contact you if necessary. If you have handouts, please let us know at the beginning of your presentation and staff will distribute those to the council. If you are unable to approach the podium due to a physical limitation, a microphone is available to be brought to you. When called to the podium, please state your name and address for the record. Each speaker must limit comments to 3 minutes. If you are speaking on behalf of a group of 10 or more individuals present, please have those persons stand at the beginning of your comments and you will be given 10 minutes to address the council. Please note that if you stand in support of a person getting 10 minutes to speak, you will be forfeiting your right to speak on that item. For any person addressing the council through the use of a translator, the speaking time will be doubled to accommodate the translation service. Now please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Our first item of business tonight is to consider and approve the minutes of the October 15th, 2019 meeting. Are there any changes? And those will stand approved as written. We have 2 public hearings tonight. The first is public hearing 2019-828. Mr. Peters.
Honorable Mayor, members of the council, this is a public hearing to consider a resolution approving the following subdivision plat and construction plans. The Creekside Addition Phase 5, lots 15 through 28, Block 3, and lots 1 through 14, Block 4. By a vote of 6-0, Plan Commission recommended that the subdivision plat and construction plans be approved. We did add an updated resolution in your packets for consideration with this item.
Any questions for staff? We'll open a public hearing. Is there anyone here who would like to speak on this item? I'll close the public hearing. Is there a motion?
Let's see if I can get this right because this is different. Okay, I move that we approve with conditions.
Actually, you just moved to approve.
Oh, okay. Move to approve.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second.
I told you I was going to get it right. Your deal.
Please poll the council.
Holmes. Aye. Kennard.
Yes.
Sabidon.
Yes.
Bearfield.
Yes.
Deaver.
Yes, that motion carries. Public hearing 2019-829. Millette Harrison.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and Council. This is a public hearing on an ordinance amending the project and financing plan for reinvestment zone number 1 for tax increment financing, also known as TIF Zone 1, to consider approving 8 projects. 1, TIF funds in an amount not to exceed $200,000 to 305 Elm LLC for environmental assessment, facade improvements, and architectural engineering services to renovate the building at 305 Elm. 2, to provide TIF funds in an amount not to exceed $5,548,000 to City Center Waco to develop Bridge Street from MLK Jr. Boulevard to Main Street as a festival street and develop the 300 block of Elm as a public plaza. 3, provide TIF funds in an amount not to exceed $1,528,807 to the City of Waco to establish a railroad quiet zone from Peach Street to South 13th Street and the conversion of Jackson Avenue to a one-way street from University Parks to South 8th Street. 4, to provide TIF funds in an amount not to exceed $341,000 to the City of Waco to construct a new sidewalk on along Webster Avenue between 4th and 5th Street, which is the northwest right-of-way of Webster Avenue. 5, to provide TIF funds in an amount not to exceed $369,430 to City Center Waco to remediate and remove concrete slabs behind the East Waco Library along Taylor Street in preparation for future development. 6, to allocate an additional $200,000 to the facade improvement grant line item in the project and financing plan to fund future facade improvement projects. 7, to amend the agreement with 4th and Jackson LLC approved by Ordinance 2017-902 to provide an extension of 180 days for the containery project at 319 South 4th Street. And 8, to consider a contract amendment for the Baronsloff Partners LLC for an increase in the amount of funding previously awarded on March 20th, 2018, by ordinance 2018-386 for the project at 2015 to 2017 South 4th Street, to amend that from $556,267 to $602,168. Authorizing the city manager to execute any documents necessary to complete these transactions, providing an effective date, providing a savings clause, providing a severability clause, and finding and determining the meeting at which this ordinance is passed is open to the public as required by law. This ordinance comes to you on first reading. On October 10th, 2019, the reinvestment zone tax increment financing reinvestment zone number 1 Board of Directors, also known as the TIF Board, voted 6-0 to provide TIF funds in an amount not to exceed $200,000 or 20.36% of the estimated total project cost to 305 Elm LLC for the environmental assessment, facade improvements, and architectural and engineering services in order to renovate 305 Elm Avenue building for prospective tenants. The TIF Board also recommended setting appraisal dispute value at $999,517, which is the current McCad value added to the total project costs. The contract term shall be a period of 3 years, 1 year of construction, 2 years of payment. And 2, the TIF Board voted 6-0 to provide TIF funds in an amount not to exceed $5,548,000 to City Center Waco to develop Bridge Street from Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard to Main Street as a festival street, and to develop the 300 block of Elm Avenue as a public plaza. This project is identified in the Imagine Waco plan to further connect east and west sides of downtown. This public project is also, this is a public project, so there will be no appraisal dispute value. 3, the TIF Board voted 6-0 to provide TIF funds in an amount not to exceed $1,528,807 to the City of Waco to establish a railroad quiet zone from Peach Street to South 13th Street. These improvements create a safer railroad environment, which allows the train not to sound their horns in this area from Peach to 13th, making the zone quieter. This is a public project, so there will be no appraisal dispute value. 4, the TIF Board voted 6-0 to provide TIF funds in an amount not to exceed $341,000 to the City of Waco to construct new sidewalk from 4th Street to 5th Street along the northwest right-of-way of Webster Avenue. This is a public project, so there will be no appraisal dispute value. And 5, the TIF Board voted 6-0 to provide TIF funds in an amount not to exceed $369,430 to City Center Waco to remove the old concrete slabs behind the East Waco Library along Taylor Street. This is a public project, so there will be no appraisal dispute value on it as well. 6, the TIF Board voted 6-0 to provide TIF funds in an amount not to exceed $200,000 in additional funding for the facade improvement grant line item in the project and financing plan, which is the TIF budget, to fund future facade improvement projects. 7, the TIF Board voted 6-0 to recommend the extension of contract with 4th and Jackson LLC for 180 days for the previously awarded TIF funding of $488,000 for the renovation of the building at 319 South 4th Street. If approved, the new project deadline would be March 28th, 2020. And 8, the TIF Board voted 5-1 to deny a request for a contract amendment request from Barron's Lofts Partners, LLC, to increase the amount of TIF funding previously awarded from $556,267 to $602,168, an increase of $45,901 due to the additional public improvement project costs. If approved, these projects will have an additional total financial impact of up to $8,233,138 on the TIF funds available now and in the future. Through September 30th, 2019, these projects are anticipated to have a financial impact of $355,486, leaving zero funds available at the beginning of this fiscal year. However, ending the fiscal year with $4,201,321 of TIF funds projected to be available through September 30th, 2020. As required by law, a notice of this public hearing was published in the Waco Tribune Herald on October 25th, 2019.
All right. I will note that council members Kennard, Meek, and Holmes and I have all filed affidavits of substantial interest on this item. Are there any questions for staff? Okay, I will open a public hearing. Is there anyone here who would like to speak on this item? I'll close the public hearing. Is there a motion?
Make a motion for approval on first reading.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Please poll the council.
Holmes. Kennard.
Yes.
Sabido.
Yes.
Bearfield.
Yes.
Deaver.
Yes, that motion carries. The consent agenda tonight consists of resolutions 2019-830 through 2019-868. Is there a motion on the consent agenda?
And Mayor, if I may, just for the record, there is an attachment for resolution on boards and commission that was distributed to the council prior.
Thank you. Is there a motion on the consent agenda?
Move approval of the consent agenda.
Second.
Any discussion? Please poll the council.
Holmes. Kennard.
Yes.
Sabido.
Yes.
Bearfield.
Yes.
Deaver.
Yes, that motion carries. We have 6 ordinances tonight, 5 on second reading and 1 on first reading, which is ordinance 2019-869.
An ordinance of the City of Waco, Texas, amending Section 532 Board Composition of Article 2 Animal Welfare Board and Chapter 5 Animals of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Waco, Texas. Repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinance in conflict herewith, providing a severability clause, providing for inclusion in the code, and finding and determining that the meeting at which this ordinance is passed is open to the public as required by law. This ordinance comes to council on first reading.
Is there a motion?
Make a motion for approval on first reading.
Any discussion? Please poll the council.
Holmes.
Aye.
Kennard. Sabido.
Yes.
Bearfield. Deaver.
Yes, that motion carries. Ordinance 2019-870.
An ordinance establishing reinvestment zone number 70, City of Waco, for industrial tax abatement on real property located at Block 6, Lot 12, Texas Central Edition, situated in the Carlos Ocampo Survey, abstract number 32, in the City of Waco, McLennan County, Texas, and located in Census Tract 37.06, Block Group 1, as provided by the Property Redevelopment Tax Abatement Act. Setting the boundaries of the zone, establishing the number of years for the zone, finding that the creation of the zone will contribute to the retention or expansion of primary employment or attract major investment in the zone that would be of benefit to the property and that would contribute to the economic development. Providing an effective date, providing a savings clause, and finding and determining the meeting at which this ordinance is passed is open to the public as required by law. This ordinance was approved by a 6-0 council vote on first reading on October 15th, 2019.
Is there a motion?
Move approval of second reading.
Second.
Any discussion? Please poll the council.
I'm afraid I didn't get the second. I'm sorry.
Hector.
Holmes. Kennard.
Yes.
Sabido.
Yes.
Bearfield.
Yes.
Deaver.
Yes, that motion carries. Ordinance 2019-871.
An ordinance of the City of Waco, Texas, amending Section 18-83 and Chapter 18 Personnel of said code, providing that the number of police officers, police sergeants, police commanders, and assistant police chiefs authorized by the council, providing a savings clause, providing for inclusion in the code, and finding and determining the meeting at which this ordinance is passed is open to the public as required by law. This ordinance was approved by a 6-0 council vote on first reading on October 15, 2019.
Is there a motion?
Move approval on second reading.
Second.
Any discussion? Please poll the council.
Holmes.
Aye.
Kennard.
Yes.
Sabido.
Yes.
Bearfield.
Yes.
Deaver.
Yes, that motion carries. Ordinance 2019-872.
An ordinance abandoning a portion of Jackson Avenue between South 8th and South 6th Streets, being a 0.300 acre tract of land situated in the T Chambers Survey, abstract number 7, McLennan County, Texas, located within Jackson Avenue, a 75-foot wide right-of-way to the City of Waco, McLennan County, Texas, and bounded by the westerly side of a 30-foot wide railroad right-of-way, as described in Ordinance Article 367 dated February 28, 1881, in the 1899 Code of Ordinances book for the City of Waco, and bounded on the easterly side by Lot 3, Block 1 of the final plat of Southwestern Edition as recorded in MCC number 2017-035461 of the official public records of McLennan County, Texas, retaining a general utility easement, retaining an easement for any existing Atmos Energy facilities located in the abandoned area, retaining an easement for a railroad signal box, requiring the railroad signal box and any other railroad equipment remain outside of boundary fencing as a condition of the abandonment, providing that the abandonment is subject to any rights in the abandoned area held by Union Pacific Railroad, finding no duty to maintain, authorizing the city manager to execute quitclaim deeds, providing a severability clause, and finding and determining the meeting at which this ordinance is passed is open to the public as required by law. This ordinance was approved by a 6-0 council vote on first reading on October 15, 2019.
Is there a motion?
Motion for approval on second reading.
Second.
Any discussion? Please poll the council.
Holmes.
Aye.
Kennard.
Yes.
Sabido.
Yes.
Fairfield.
Yes.
Deaver.
Yes, that motion carries. Ordinance 2019-873.
An ordinance of the City of Waco, Texas, providing the comprehensive plan be amended to change the land use designation from suburban residential to mixed-use flex on the property described as 0.59 acres, more or less, out of the Wortham Birch Tract described in a deed recorded in Volume 960, page 574 of the deed records in McLennan County, Texas. Being out of the James Lane Survey in McLennan County, Texas, the 0.59 acre tract, save and accept that portion of the 0.59 acre tract conveyed to the state of Texas per deed recorded under Clerk's File Number 2013-004264 of the official public records in McLennan County, Texas, property ID number 102949, known as 9519 China Spring Road, providing that the Code of Ordinances of the City of Waco be amended by revising Section 28-247 and Chapter 28 zoning of said code, providing the zoning map shall be changed so the property described above shall be changed from R1B to C2 district classification, providing for penalties, providing a severability clause, and finding and determining the meeting at which this ordinance is passed is open to the public as required by law. This ordinance was approved by a 6-0 council vote on first reading on October 15, 2019.
Is there a motion?
Move approval on second reading.
Second.
Any discussion? Please poll the council.
Holmes.
Aye.
Kennard.
Yes.
Sabido.
Yes.
Fairfield. Deaver.
Yes, that motion carries. Ordinance 2019-874.
An ordinance of the City of Waco, Texas, providing the Code of Ordinances of the City of Waco be amended by revising Section 28-247 and Chapter 28 zoning of said code, providing the zoning map shall be changed so that certain property described as Lot 2D, Block E, McCall Addition, known as 526 North 5th Street, shall be changed from C3 district classification and become and be designated to O3 district classification, providing for penalties, providing a severability clause, and finding and determining that the meeting at which this ordinance is passed is open to the public as required by law. This ordinance was approved by a 5-0 council vote on first reading on October 15, 2019.
Is there a motion?
Motion for approval on second reading.
Second.
Any discussion? Please poll the council.
Holmes. Kennard. Sabido.
Yes.
Fairfield.
Yes.
Deaver.
Yes, that motion carries. We will now open the hearing of visitors. During the hearing of visitors, we provide an opportunity for any citizen to present concerns or address issues that are not matters for consideration listed on the agenda. Council is unable to conduct discussion, but we will listen, ask staff to look into concerns, and provide follow-up. Please provide registration information so that staff can contact you if necessary. If you have handouts, please let us know at the beginning of your presentation, and staff will distribute those to the council. If you are unable to approach the podium due to a physical limitation, a microphone is available to be brought to you. When called to the podium, please state your name and address for the record. Each speaker must limit comments to 3 minutes. If you are speaking on behalf of a group of 10 or more individuals present, please have those persons stand at the beginning of your comments, and you will be given 10 minutes to address the council. Please note that if you stand in support of a person getting 10 minutes to speak, you are forfeiting your right to speak on that item. Please try not to be repetitive, and please do not applaud. I have one card here tonight from Alan Northcutt.
Thank you. Alan Northcutt, MD, 619 Stone Manor Drive, McGregor. It is in Waco, Precinct 5. There's a handout. The first page is from the minutes, and I didn't realize the minutes were going to be in this session, but so I didn't do it as an agenda item. But I wanted to call attention to what it says about my comments, and I highlighted in yellow. It says that I spoke on greenhouse gas emissions and the effectiveness of the Sustainability Board to encourage decarbonization as a city's, and then it becomes, incomprehensible. I don't know what they meant to say. But the point is, I clearly said the board is ineffective. And if you read this, it sounds like I'm claiming the board is effective at encouraging decarbonization. The board doesn't meet often enough to deal with the climate breakdown. It does not encourage visitor comment at all. It has members that don't attend, and it definitely tries to keep people that are informed and want to take action from being members of that board. So I wanted to at least correct that informally. The other thing I wanted to say was, it's probably a question of why I continue to speak on this. And one reason is I have a 16-year-old son, and I'm sure many of you, many council members here have children. And the fact is, we have a responsibility to care for the climate so that they have a livable biosphere. There's 2 pages here that follow that show the future for Waco. The first one shows a map of Texas. If we don't take action on cutting emissions, we're looking at approximately 75 more days per year over 100 degrees Fahrenheit each year. So whatever we have now plus 75, that's if we don't take action. The other page is a reminder that last year McLennan County had the worst drought statistics of any county in the state. So we again call, as we have for about 20 months now, for the city to really begin to take action to decarbonize. It seems to us the council is more interested in proclaiming, pickle day or whatever than really taking action on decarbonizing. And again, this is not just us. There are hundreds of cities taking action. The U.S. Conference of Mayors, recommends that its members go 100% renewable. We had 1,300 people on our original petition. So again, we call on the city to seriously work on decarbonizing. A rooftop solar program would be a good way to really start. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else here who would like to address the council during the hearing of visitors? Seeing no one, we will close the hearing of visitors. Are there any council member reports on committees or boards or commissions liaison visits? I want to remind everyone or tell you, if you didn't know, that the next council meeting on November 19th will not be here in this room. It will be at the City of Waco Multipurpose Center at 1020 Elm Avenue. There being no further business, we will adjourn the meeting at 6:22. Thank you.